My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
J360 Radio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a J360 Mini Bite. I am your host, JM Brady, and it has been a long time coming for this episode 8, hasn't it? Yeah. Let me tell you guys something, right? That whole thing about life to work balance. It's really a myth, isn't it? You know, because sometimes I try to find the time to do all my shows, and it is possible that I can. But this one was on the back burner for a while because, damn, I hate algebra and I cannot stand my day job. Hey, but you know what? That keeps the checks floating until, you know, everything else comes into play. Because I got so many things set up and ready to go. It's just, sometimes it's always like, which is the right plan? And, you know, how seldom, you know, we get to where we need to be to run our race and make our moment happen. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you can have everything planned up, but it can still kibosh and fall into itself. But that's not to say that you don't try anyway, which is why I was just tired of waiting. So I had to get this episode ready for you all. I think it says episode 9, but then again, I guess that's how tired I am, right? So, you know, I ain't worried about it. I guess because the promo piece is on here. But, you know, this is really episode 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you all know that now. I'll just change it later on. But other than that, I hope you all have been doing pretty well because it is the tail end of that stuff that we went through not too long ago, which was a U.S. holiday. Apparently our own would-be commander-in-chief didn't even care enough. He went on a Japanese trip instead of just hanging out with us and, you know, giving honors to those who have fallen. And he probably did in his obtuse way like he normally does, but you know, at the end of the day, you kind of want to be here and you want to show some celebration to those that have passed on. You know, those that have given up all of their freedom for us to have our freedom, you know, so that we can go ahead and be louts and sit around and, you know, talk about like, yeah, where the free food at? Where the barbecue at? And all that kind of stuff. After all, it is woke culture, you know, and you want to be aware of what's going on around you. But hey, this is not political this time. I can go ahead and deal with that on either the J-Man show or in my own spare time with some of the content that I need to make for J360 TV. Which, yes, it's still a thing. It's just on ice. Yeah, I'm also working on these math assignments too, so I've been kind of held up with doing the adult thing. I mean, math's not bad. It's just part of a system and what you need to use in order to problem solve, but you know, it's just sometimes it's so boring. You know what I mean? Oh, God. And sometimes I wonder what compelled me to take it during the summer, but I think I know why, because once it's done, and I won't take any other avenues to get through this. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you know that you have a final battle ahead, and the thing is you have to practice for that final battle at all times so that you can get where you need to be, so that you don't have to be in the howling hells of retail ever again, hopefully. You know, it's just the way it goes sometimes. And man, oh man, it begins again. You know, when I was at the day job, right? See, this is where I know that at least I can wake up happily knowing I'm smarter than some of those administrators that are floating around in there. My would-be team lead, now he said this, he was like, oh, you know, it's Memorial Weekend, you know, Memorial Weekend's hard. I'm like, shut up. Shut your corny ass up. It is not hard. Believe it or not, sometimes people will tell you that retail's hard. Look, I'm going to be that one guy to tell you this. All right, retail is only hard because there are people that are always in somebody else's business. And if you're crazy enough to allow them in your business, they will never leave. If you have no business to throw around there and all that kind of stuff, let them figure out some bull crap on their own. But also, there are people that are in these so-called supervising positions that do no work at all, that don't even try to help you. And since they don't try to help you, they sit there and they spectate, and then they go, "Oh, I see what's going on here. Oh, that doesn't seem right. That seems a little backwards." No, that's your opinion, and your opinion is flawed, and the way you carry yourself is pretty damn stupid. No offense. It's like this. I'm doing my job. I've been doing stocking and merchandising jobs for like well over 10 years. So you see, the thing is that I pretty much know how to do it. And it's not hard. It's never been a hard thing to do. It's just tedious. And then there's times where you got to do a second hit. Trust me, for those of you out there that are working through college too and getting stuff together so that you can have that new sense of achievement, it's not how hard it is. It's whether you're working smarter or harder. And you see, when you got people like that idiot I just told you all about, see, he doesn't understand that concept because he's not doing the concept. He doesn't realize that, hey, it takes time to go ahead and get stuff done in a retail position or any sort of job that requires, effort to construct something. See, he doesn't understand that. He just understands, if I go ahead and give a command, no matter how stupid it is, you gotta follow it. And once again, this is where he doesn't know me very well, because it's like this. I'm the guy who will ask questions, and then I will go ahead and do it my own way. The hell with your way. Because the thing about it is, your way is not beneficial to anybody. Your way is the tiresome way. If you think of a smarter way to have things set up so you can get stuff done and make things manageable, you're already achieving in other ways. And if you got administrators that are too dumb to realize that, the best thing you could do is like my friend over at the Retail Rant says, have your space pod ready so you can just get the hell on out of there. And also, don't forget to save up at least 6 to 12 months of, 6 to 12 months of cash so that you can make sure that you never have to live paycheck to paycheck and deal with the essence and the self-destruction of retail anyway. Because you see, when I work, guys, when I worked in, when I worked for a soda company years ago, they used to try to do that kind of stuff. It's called manipulation. And you see, whenever they try to throw that stuff around, so they can make you feel lowest of the low. And it's bad enough customers are out there trying to do such a thing. There's no reason for it, and you do not have to go through it. So what you do is, you have to be smart enough to play the game in the field and do it your way, whether they say it's wrong or not. And the best part of it all is the look on their face when they go, "You didn't do it my way, I'm mad." And I'm like, yeah, I didn't do it your way because your way is flawed and stupid. But here's what his whole excuse was. It's Memorial Friday. I'm like, come on, dude. We get a whole flux of people running through the store anyway on the weekend. It's no different than any other weekend. It's just people think that they're very entitled to stuff. And not only that, they come down here to go to the beaches, when at the same time, just throw the food at them and let them go. That's it. If they make a stupid, outlandish request, just tell them it can't be done. And if they have a problem with that, they can go see the great manager that will go ahead and make stuff worse. And at the end of the day, I could care less and do. But pretty much, my whole Memorial Day weekend was riding through all that BS, where at the same time, all I know is that I can just come back home, prop my feet up, get ready for the next selections of J360 shows to produce, and also try to get some of the projects that have been in my mind for like the last few years and get those things flying. Because it can be hard to make a high concept idea without, offending anyone. And I've noticed that just as by outlining everything that I have in front of me, I'm going to offend a lot of people trying to be a filmmaker and a mogul. Well, I already did. I guess because I abbreviated someone's name too. I done pissed off quite a bit of feminists. I can only imagine what it would be like if I exposed myself or ran around like a wild animal and things like that. You know what I'm saying? If I really, really did something and wasn't ashamed of the things that I was doing, you know? It's just so sad that we live in a culture like this now, you know, and it's not getting any better. Even, you know, as I describe about corporate America, then I describe about social America, then I describe about all sorts of things. And pretty much it is because people just have a problem accepting other people for who they are because they don't even accept themselves, which is basis for another J-Man episode. But you see, as I work on the mini bites and as I keep exploring the avenues of where to take this show, you know, it's always fun to give you something, you know, before any of the big J360 shows show up. And of all the dumb things I see, and I'm going to see this summer, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be a very interesting ride because you got people out there now complaining about the heat. You know, at that time, it just makes me want to throw a pie at them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't really want to hurt them, but I do want them to understand that, hey, you know what? You asked for it, you eat it. The point is that, of course, summertime is the hottest time of the year. You wanted this. You complain about this throughout November going into March, for goodness sake. And now that it's back, you think you can loaf around, and then you also think, hey, guess what? It's so hot out. Why is it this hot? Same reason why winter's so cold. It's the time for it to be. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like that, it's your own damn fault. And I just love the way people try to grasp at straws about this. And you see, as I'm going to make some of these sketches for J360 TV, I got to thank society for being as stupid as it is sometimes. I really do, because it just goes to show one way or another, once you get something, you don't appreciate it, and you cast it off like it's a piece of garbage. It's not right. And even if you get called out on it, now you think you got the right to talk some stuff, huh? You know what I'm saying? You think you got the rights to go ahead and say what you need to say. Get it off your chest a little bit. Yeah, you go ahead and take that stand and watch me put my foot in the back of your ass. Figuratively, not literally. I like these new shoes I got. But the truth is that, you know, we're in that cluster where everybody has an argument, whether it's valid or not, but nobody listens. And nobody's trying to solve a problem. And I think it's because, and you see, you can't really blame that on 45 because, well, he's always been a jerk. But the problem is that there are jerks out there that elected him in that position to act certain way. So it's so interesting while we're even in here. And then, you know, these voices also dictate the content we consume. There is nothing wrong with strong women, much in the same way there's nothing wrong with strong men. And there's nothing wrong with strong black men. But the problem is people try to act like one of these categories don't exist. And I would say it's the strong black man. Of course, you got to be in a Tyler Perry production and light-skinned as hell and eventually help the woman who's self-inflicted or is in a situation get where she needs to be so that she can go ahead and act all empowered and stuff. And see, I can go on further about why empowerment speeches can be pretty damn annoying. I can go ahead and say all these things. You should empower yourself. But don't expect everybody to join in there with you. I mean, come on. Like whenever I do a little empowerment speech, yeah, I do it for my benefit to keep me going. But I also know this, right? A lot of other people out there, if they want to be empowered, they can empower themselves. And they should be able to get their goals achieved. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want to be there for doing absolutely nothing. No different than my would-be team lead. Oh, yeah, he goes around here and throws his rank, but guess what? Whenever I'm on duty with him, I put his ass to work. Because you see, the beautiful part about that is that, you see, as long as that person carries that rank, I will test you to see why you have it. See what I'm saying? It's just the kind of person I am. Not saying that I would do it to anyone else, because if I know that you are competent at what you do, you already got my respect. But if you're somebody like him, who needs a reason for things, quite like a lot of the adversaries that I do have, They need a reason. They need to go ahead and emote and project their reason. Oh, yeah. I know you ain't even about what you just said. Because sometimes there's showing and then there's telling. So try to remember that, right? Like, as I go ahead, I don't have to project to you guys that I have J360 TV in the works. You're going to see it. I don't have to project too much of anything. Just like when I told you that a mini bite was coming, which it is right now, the episode you're listening to. But we're getting closer to that 15-minute deadline, guys, so I got to wrap it up. But hey, I want to ask you guys a question. When things change, would you prefer the mini bites to be a daily show or a weekly show? Get back to me on it sometimes. Email me, j360productions@outlook.com, or, leave a message on the hotline that is 240-903-1634. Okay? And you can also interact with any other J360 show if you want to. Well, oh God, we're 10 minutes ahead. Well, I'm wrapping it up, guys. I'll see you all later.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right. ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.